Welcome back, everyone. It's Angela, and holy moly, this is it, the final episode in our Spring Bloom series, which is a beginner series for everything that you need to know to create a covered journal, how to bind, and then we have all of the fun episodes with pockets and mini journals. So if you haven't seen those, pop on over and check them out. These are some of the projects that we did. But today I thought I would take a different spin and wrap this all up with a pretty little bow or a little bauble, whatever the case may be. And we're going to talk about not just creating the journal, in journaling and mindfulness and the creativity portion of what that really means. Because some of you, the fact that you're creating is part of your being mindfulness, the happiness and the joy that it brings you. And some of you might be watching this and say, I really would rather purchase a journal made with love by one of the wonderful artists that are out there on YouTube and Facebook and Etsy. And I really want to find joy in all of the fun that they have created and actually write in my journal and make it my own. So we're going to talk a little bit about both of those things. And I'll have to tell you, this is kind of what's starting it. This is pretty symbolic to me. So I am very methodical about every one of my projects, and I have to be very organized or else it's a hot mess because I squirrel all the time. So this symbolizes that I have completed a project. Now, what I learned, and it's, a little bit bittersweet because, every single journal, if you junk journal or if you're just getting started, is a labor of love, right? So it's a very long process, and you get really excited about it, and you can't wait to share your videos and how-tos and tutorials and flip-throughs. But what I recognized as I started, and I've been an artist for almost all of my life in some way, shape, or form, but my thought process was always, I have got to finish something. If I start it, I have to finish it. And what I realized is that this project was a great example that I don't need to finish what I started straight away. I can take my time, find peace in making time for myself, find joy, and really embrace those moments instead of worrying so much about a calendar or a time clock or when I need to publish or all of that good stuff. So this was a fantastic lesson for me personally as it relates to being mindful and creative at the same time. So I'm just going to kind of craft along and visit with you just a little bit about my journey, what this mindfulness and creativity means to me. And then we're going to talk about something really exciting. So stay tuned because I have a huge announcement that I'm dying to share with you. And I can't wait. So hopefully I'll make it all the way to the end, but probably not. So here's here's how all this started. So it was a little bit before quarantine happened, and I was recognizing that, I was working really hard and, checking off boxes and getting things done and feeling pretty darn good about it. But I wasn't really doing anything that was bringing me joy. So I decided I needed to do something different. So one of Dave and I's favorite movies is The Notebook. And so I don't know, raise your hand if you are a Notebook fan, but that movie, as many times as I've seen it, brings me to tears every single time. But one of the things that really stood out for me and has stuck with me in all the years that I've been watching that movie over and over is something that Allie said to Noah, and I believe it was to Noah. And she said, most of the time I have all these thoughts bouncing around in my head, and with a brush in my hand, the world just gets kind of quiet. And that's when I realized, and Dave and I were talking about it, and I'm like, and then I think Noah may have said, well, just paint, if that's what you need to do, just paint. And so Dave and I kind of talked about it, and he's like, think about your favorite line, just paint, find that passion. And I'm like, well, but I've got so many things that I have to do, and that I probably should get done, that I don't know if I feel comfortable with that. Like, I just wasn't willing to give myself permission to actually get to do that. So, I thought about it, and I decided, you know what? He is absolutely right. I need to take some time for myself. So the other thing that I have practiced in my past is something called The Happiness Advantage, which is a book by Sean Acors, and they have something called the Orange Frog, which I was certified in back in my corporate days, and am a true believer in the neuroscience behind happiness, mindfulness, and just everything about it. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted here. And so I was like, well, how could I incorporate both of those things? And so what I decided was that I was going to start by creating a workshop. And so I researched and I designed and I created and sat in the studio and did all my videos, and it took me forever. The good thing was it happened. I started that in I think it was October, and then I actually launched the Mindfulness Series on my Kajabi website, which is torestoreyou.mykajabi.com, and it's an 8-part series with a couple of bonus what I call play dates, and it's chocked full of the meaning and the whys behind your mindset and journaling and the creative aspects of all of that. And then, we start working on techniques, and we don't just do junk journaling. We do every kind of journaling you can think of, besides art and junk journals. We do bullet journaling techniques and, brain dumps and a whole plethora of other fun little segments. And the cool part about it is that you can take those whenever you want. And here's why I love it, because I'm a mom and I spend a lot of time waiting for my children, whether it be at sports or activities or whatnot. And so I love that with those courses, I can start and stop whenever I feel like it. And it just kind of makes me happy. So that's kind of a benefit. But the reason I did that is because we have done some live retreats prior to COVID with a girlfriend of mine who also has a background in some of the things that I do. And so we did a women's retreat the January before quarantine and loved it. No, we're not gonna, it's just your brother, Zenny. And so I just decided, you know what? I don't care. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this to give back to people who want to be more mindful, who would love to get started in either an artistic or creative way, or who just want to kind of get their ducks in a row, learn to meditate or journal better, be more community minded, whatever the case might be. So that is how To Restore You started. And it's really just positively, our goal is my goal is to positively change the lives of others by inspiring and empowering people through, a creative outlet, through art experiences, things that are going to foster kind of a mindset of mindfulness and confidence and empowerment and happiness. And as I always say, a permission to just be. Like, don't worry about what everybody around you is thinking or the things that you have to get done. Take time for you, because when you are mindful and when you're taking time for yourself, everything else kind of comes together. And so it really is kind of going hand in hand. And I just decided, okay, how can I do that? Well, one, I could, create those workshops, but another is that I could actually utilize that YouTube channel that I have not done anything with. I think I had 6 followers, and it was really initially intended for us as for a renovation company. It was a little Meet the Schrads, and then something that we could showcase our flip houses and renovations. And so I was like, well, I mean, really, all those people, the people that watched, my loyal 6 followers were only my family. I lost my, okay, hang on. Oh, there it is. We're just my family. And I thought, well, you know what? That's a pretty good outlet. So why not just start doing these videos? And at first I was like, thinking, okay, what do I have to do? How do I get followers? Because you guys know, those of you who are also very successful on YouTube or just getting started know that, man, you got to have a lot of followers or a lot of subscribers, and you have to have lots of comments. And I was like, oh, get over it, Angela. Just do this and have fun with it, and don't worry about all those numbers. And so I haven't. But the reason I didn't is because I know that mindfulness equals getting out of those patterns in your head. All of those things bouncing around from one thought to the other, just like Allie says in the book. And so I refused to do that. I was doing this for me. I was doing this for others that might appreciate a little incentive or motivation to kind of do something on their own. And so that is how on my YouTube channel all came together. So I've been having a fantastic time with it. And, the basis is, I keep picking this one up, so I feel like I need to use it sometime. You're throwing a party. Who would you invite to your table and why? So what I am doing is making these prompts so that whomever gets this journal has a starting point. And the cool part about it is, and I need to write that down. I have created all of these prompts when I created the course. Actually, when we did our retreat, I created 365 days of journaling prompts, and I made them all into playing cards. And so that is one of the freebies that is in our course, are all of those. So I thought, well, I need to make these into a digital. So my goal is, before this airs, I will get these out on Etsy so that you can find them. Here's a good one. I like that. Actions I can take to make my goals a reality. So yeah, that's basically what I am doing as we talk through this. And you'll understand the method to my madness when I get to my big announcement. So anyway, the premise of this is that Sean, in all of his research, has come to the conclusion, and it didn't just make this up. I mean, it's very well studied. Man, that guy is smart. But if it makes, the easiest way I can explain it is, as a society, really, we believe, you know, if we have all of these things, we will be happy. So if we have a nice car, a good job, 2.5 kids, you know, all of the things that we see as success, then certainly we'll all be happy, right? And the research shows that that is absolutely untrue. That, in fact, we have to be, we have to be right with our minds and choose to be happy first. And once we choose to do that, whatever form that takes, then things will come to us. And, you know, we will see better results in being successful if we choose to be happy and mindful, show our gratitudes every day, maybe show random acts of kindness. I mean, there's several tactics in his book, and it's called The Happiness Advantage, and it's an orange book. You can't miss it. But I think, in fact, if you look on our Amazon store, I know it's on Goodreads because it's one of my very favorites. And hey, I am not, FYI, anymore. I used to be because I had to for work, but I don't read a lot of books like that anymore, you know, like texty kind of books. But I'll tell you what, something about Sean's book is his stories are fabulous. They're funny, and I read that book over and over. In fact, I don't know if this is my, no, I must have my original one down here. This is the book. But the one that I used when I was teaching, the Orange Frog, was, it's got like so many tabs and little tags and notes in it. It's unbelievable, but it really is a fantastic book. So if you're looking for something interesting to read, try it out. Because it really makes you think, gosh, you know, have I been doing it wrong all of this time? And, you know, I am a perfect example of that, that, you know, just do it, as Nike says, right? And don't worry about everybody else and what's going on around you. Simply just do what brings you joy, and success will come. And I hope that happens. If it doesn't, I am, you know, sharing my joy of what I do with others. And I'm getting to know new friends, and I've met new people throughout this journey. So it's been fantabulous. One of the things that's in this is something I printed from my printables, and I want to show you. Where did I put it? Hang on. And it is affirmations. I stuck it in here. I think it's by the little travel, which is not this. Let's see. Books I want to read. Hang tight. I got it. Okay, where am I going to come back to? I'm going to come back to affirmations. But true story, and this is a great example of your mindset. So yesterday I had a fantastic hour-long conversation with myself doing all of these. I did this entire little thing. It was great. The intent was to be doing it on camera with you. And my first takes are always my best. So I did this whole book on camera, and we talked about all of this. And it was an hour long. And I got done, and I went to save my video. Deleted. Now, you know that this is not the first time it's happened, so I think it might be the app that I might be using. Now, in the olden days, as my kids will say, I would have been freaking out. But I didn't. I simply just said, okay, it wasn't meant to be. There's a reason. I am not going to get angry about it. I'm going to walk away. I cannot do this again today, but I'm going to try tomorrow. Well, interestingly, I'm glad that I did, because when this morning I had finished a book yesterday, and I'm looking for this as I talk, and I'm not doing a very good job of it. And I thought, well, I've got a few more that are tucked in my to-read pile. And so I grabbed out, there's my affirmation, so I don't forget. So I grabbed this one. Now, this is why your mindset matters, because if I would have taped this yesterday, I would not have been able to share this book with you. So this morning I got it out. This is my coffee time. I do my devotions. I sit, I read a little bit. And Ty Pennington, I don't know if you know who he is, but he's just a cutie patootie. And I watched him for years during Trading Spaces, and I love him. So when I saw this the other day at Barnes & Noble, I picked it up. And it was interesting because I should have probably highlighted it. And I opened it up. I even had my son read it this morning. But here's something that Ty says. He is somebody who suffers, by the way, from ADHD. So what do you do with a kid who just can't sit still, who can't focus? Ty discovered something amazing when he was just a boy. He could focus when he was building something. He discovered that he loved to work with his hands and problem solve, to use tools to find creative solutions. He loved to build and design new things. How appropriate is that for this video? When we need to have that outlet, and all of those things and those ideas are bouncing around in our head, or we can't focus, or like I do all the time and squirrel, finding that creative element or that mode is a fantastic way to kind of structure yourself and give yourself permission to find that creativity and have that outlet. So I thought that was brilliant. I'm only about 5 pages into the book because I had to start my day, and I can't wait to get back to it. But if you want a good book to read, I would suggest that. So this is from my printables as well. And these are just all affirmations, so whoever gets this wonderful journal can cut one out, stick it on a page, do with it, put it in their pocket and look at it throughout the day, whatever you so choose. But I think affirmations are really, really important. And it's just saying, I am okay. I am enough. I am grateful. I'm thankful for X, Y, and Z. And if if this isn't something that's comfortable for you, the other thing I would suggest is an app called I Am. And I love it because every day I put the notifications on, and I just see them pop up. And today, one of them was, hey, I've made it this far. I'm curious to see how far I can go. Yeah, what else am I going to do in my life? I'm sure it's going to be some exciting things. So let's see what happens. And then the other one this morning was, it's okay to not be okay. And after the last month that I've had with kind of, some stressful family, stuff, that is so true. Like, I don't have to always be the strongest. I can let down my guard, and it's okay. Like, I don't have to be okay 100% of the time. People in my life don't expect me to be okay all the time. In fact, they already know I'm weird, so they're probably expecting me not to be okay. And so I liked that as well. What I'm cutting out now are not from my prompts, but I say this a lot. Again, I get nothing from them except the love of touching every one of their magazines and reading every single page. But I believe this one, yep, this one is from Bella Grace, and it's just a list of, it says, this particular list originally said, who doesn't love making lists? They're not just keeping track of things to do. The more unique the list subject, the better. Here's a list to get you started and add some of your own. So I thought, well, why not? I love doing the exercise in this book. I'm just a lifelong learner. I don't know about all of you, but that's why I read so much. It's why I watch all my fellow YouTubers, just because I just want to learn something new. And I think it's just a fun way just to see the world through other people's lenses, and for really prompting you. Because you know what? I'm not one normally to think a lot through, like, sometimes I'm like, it's just going to be okay. It's fine. Let's just not even dwell on it, and everything's going to be okay. So it's good for me to have some questions. You know, my husband's a very deep thinker, and he makes me think sometimes more than I want. But it's okay. I'm like, really? And he says that I have the 10-day rule. It takes 10 days before, oh gosh, darn it. It's fine. We're just going to do it this way. Before he either asks me a question or to make a decision on any particular thing. So I think that's funny. But there you have it. So I do have an alarm, just because I am scared to death that my little video is going to delete again. So if we get stuck, I'm going to stop it really quick. And I think we're pretty close. So I'm going to go ahead and pause for a moment, and then I'll be right back so we can finish up and I can make this great new fun announcement. Okay, I am back. And I'm not even going to tell you that, yes, once again, I was doing the video and I don't know, some alarm or something went off on my phone. Interrupted my entire video, so I'll catch you up. But anyway, as I was saying, you know, the whole, you know, finding your joy, whatever that might be, I hope that you guys can all achieve that and make it happen in your life, because it's been really meaningful to me. And that brings me to one thing that we have practiced in our family a lot is random acts of kindness, and I'm going to talk about that in just a sec. But before I do that, I want to show you what I did before that you missed. I have used these. I don't even know where I got them, but they were just stickers. I probably at a thrift shop or something. And so I decided to keep all of these. And I'm like, well, what can I do with them? So while you weren't watching, while you were taking a break, I did a few of these using the outline of all of those stickers. Let's see, where are they? And just a note, don't throw that stuff away, because you can find a use for it. Oh, I couldn't use all of them because they were too big. So these are the other two that I did. So those are going to go into another journal, and I'll decorate them up. But here is the exciting news. I have left a lot of these pages blank. So I haven't put the prompts on there. And the reason being is that when we talked about, you know, why I was doing this and what my goals are, I had two. Number one was do it. Just get in the groove, make these tutorials, create something every day was my other goal, and I have accomplished both of those things. So I thought, well, what can I do that would be beneficial to my subscribers and beneficial to me, so I can meet more people via the intraweb and, in person. And I've had, that's been a blessing, because not only have I got to email and talk to some of you who are subscribers, but I've got to meet a few of you in person via our farmers market. And that's been fantastic too. So I'm like, well, what can I do to give back to my subscribers? And I decided that this labor of love is going to be a giveaway. So I also needed to have another goal. And so I decided, well, maybe it's time that I actually did have a goal for YouTube. So when I started, I had like 6 subscribers, all of which were my family. That was great. And with the help of Demi, we quickly got over 100, which, I was, again, I had not set a goal. So that was just a bonus, right? And I decided, well, heck, maybe we should just try for a goal. So baby steps. I'm not going crazy or anything. So I thought, well, let's just do this fun giveaway and see if we can get in the month of August to over 200 subscribers. So realistic goal, right? They're called SMART goals. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And I think that getting to 200 subscribers in the month of August is very, very attainable. And I'm at 150 something, I think 153 as of this morning. So I thought, here's what's going to happen. Somebody is going to get the entire journal with all the lovely inserts, and in addition, we'll get all of the journal prompts to use, and I will get those. I'll print them probably and put them in the journal, and then I will also give the winner a digital copy. Those I believe those are, 365 of them are available on in the workshop on Kajabi, on torestoreyou.mykajabi.com. And then I've got the printables as well. I don't know what I was doing with this. What was I doing? So that is what we are going to do for a little fun and excitement. And I hope that you all join. Here's how easy it works. You simply have to subscribe if you haven't already. And, put a little comment. It might be, and just say, any comment. Like, you can comment to, we're going to do a couple of these prompts. And so maybe you're commenting on that. Any comment that you provide in this video over the next month will put your name in for this Spring Blooms journal. And I want to thank you in advance for helping me with that fun goal. So let's see. Where is that little baby journal that I did yesterday on the video that didn't get recorded? All right, so here we go. Let's find one. Boom, a boom. Well, that I could spend all day on. Okay, let's find, here's a good one. If I could do anything without failure, I would. So that's a good thing that you can comment on. And then let's find one more, and I'll answer those too. How about one of my favorite childhood memories? Okay. So if I could do anything without failure, it would be, well, as you know, we have kiddos that are all a year apart in our blended family, and somebody is graduating every single year. So I guess if I could do anything, it would be, once we combine our homes, that I would just find an RV, because I've already been looking. It's my dream. I've got a large amount of wanderlust. I always have. It's why I went into the travel industry. And I'm looking for some, here we go. Some little things to add to this. Just a little something. So I would get an RV, preferably one that has 2 bedrooms, so that I can have one for the hubs and I. Oh, you'll also get this too that you can print, which is fun. And one for my craft room. Is that too much to ask? I don't know. Do they even make RVs with 2 bedrooms? Who knows? And then I would just hop in the RV with my husband, and we would do all of the things that, kind of combine everything that we love to do. So traveling to new places, we would do a lot of flea markets and auctions, and I don't even know. Just fun things that bring us joy. And I think I would probably just blog and vlog and just have a good time with it. And, I can't fail, right? So it doesn't mean I have to make any money at it. I can just do it and be happy. So that's what I would do if failure was not an option. So I'm curious to hear what you guys would do. And then I'm just adding to this just for the fun of it while I finish up. And then I think the other one, my favorite childhood memory, I have two. We lived on a farm, and my dad was a part-time farmer. I've learned not to say hobby farmer, because that is not a good thing. Because farming is hard work, so. Anyway, he sacrificed some of his farm ground to create a track, if you will, around the field next to our home. And we had horses. I showed horses. And then my brother had 4-wheelers and dirt bikes and all of that, snowmobiles. So it was not uncommon for me to be out practicing with my horse and my brother on his whatever motorized vehicle of choice for that day. And I was also a gymnast at the time, and so I thought I was like in the circus. I would try to do flips off the horse. My horses, I had 2 that I rode. One was my dad's and one was mine. Chick was my horse that I showed, and then Blue was, my dad's. So that was a great memory. And then I think the other one is probably, so one of the things I've always told my kids, I tell everyone, just, color outside the lines. Don't be afraid of it. And I'm a true believer in that. And so I think it was probably just my mom stayed home, and it was fantastic to have her, she was always doing some kind of DIY project, and to come home and see what she was working on, or to help her, or to, have art projects of our own. And she always encouraged us just to, color outside the lines. If it was your art, it was your art. So it's kind of probably how I got to be as open with my creativity is because of her, and coming home and remembering, she always says either baking something or making something or that girl was repurposing stuff before repurposing was cool. I mean, I can remember Hoosier cabinets and all kinds of furniture. I mean, we were not loaded by any means. So, she was probably doing it out of necessity, quite honestly. But to me, it was just a joy to see her do all of these art projects. And I love it. I love still to see all the things she does. And it's funny because I think that ability to just open up the creativity, it carries on from generation to generation. And I did the same with my kids. They were always doing some kind of art project. And it was interesting because when the kids were probably in maybe sixth, probably like 5th and 7th grade, they both were like, you know what? I'm really not liking art. And I was like devastated. I kept thinking, I'm like, well, why? That was one of your favorite subjects. Why on earth? And they both said, it's not fun. All of us have to do the same thing. I'm like, well, you do have to follow sometimes the rules when it comes to school. And, just kind of roll with it. And, through that, they did what they had to do, but they have since found their own passion. Demi is, she does a lot of our video editing for our businesses, including some of these. And then Landon he loves to, do lots of things, but his current passion is small engine repair. So he's restoring a, 1970s motorcycle. He's turning it into something called a cafe racer. So that's kind of cool, and it's been fun to watch. So everybody, can find their passion, even when sometimes you have to stick to the rules and everybody has to follow the same thing. Demi took a woodworking class this year, and it was one of her favorite classes. She said it was also one of her favorite teachers, so that probably helped a great deal as well. But, find your joy and then color outside those lines. Just let it roll. So this is the final piece that's in there. I had forgotten that I even put this in, but these are, I don't know if this was, some of this looks like things that were like, this looks like things from my happy planner. I must have had some pages or something that's stuck in there. This is from a gratitude journal that was gifted to me, and I used a lot of it, but I wanted to share it because it's got some really cute quotes in here. Practice the 1 and 1. 1 in, 1 out. Whenever you get something new, make a habit of also getting rid of something you no longer need or use. This will help keep some of the clutter at bay and will remind you how blessed you are. Alexa, turn off. So true, but I'm not so sure I do a great job at that when it comes to my art supplies. Oh, gratitude turns what we have into enough. Stopping to smell the roses is not only rejuvenating, it's an imperative if you want to lead a healthy, well-balanced life. Take time to breathe. You need to soak up the sunshine, the beauty, the smells, the sounds, the wonder of the teeming around you in all directions. So true. But it's got places for you to do your gratitudes, I think, for, several days. So lots of fun stuff in there. Like every page is just like fun and a new experience. So I can't wait to see who is the successful winner. So what we will do is, I've got my calendar and we're going to mark it on here. This is my schedule for To Restore You. So we're going to say, this is going to probably air before the end of the month. What? This is my family. Isn't this cute? My mom does one of these for us. with everybody's birthday. Whomever's birthday is. Of course, I get the 1987 cheerleading photo. Fantastic, right? Oh, but cute. Anyway, I digress. So it is... This is going to come out on the 30th. Yep, so we'll just go from the 1st, and we'll say, I don't want to do this on a Monday. Let's do this on a Friday. Friday fun day. Spring blooms announcement. So that means that on the 26th, you will want to have made your comment, shared it, help us get in. As long as we're at 200, then we're going to do this giveaway right away. So I think that's awesome. And if we're beyond that, and, you know, I haven't set another goal, but maybe I will beforehand. Maybe I'll say the next goal will be 500. And if we get to that, then I do have a giveaway for that, which is super cool. And I am even more excited to give that away than I am to give this away. So I want to thank you all for spending all of this time with me today. I know this was a little long, but I hope that I've been able to share a little bit more about myself, my journey, and the purpose of To Restore You. And I look forward to getting to know all of you and meeting new friends. So as always, remember to take time for you and to just be. And until next time, friends, cheers.